Superheroes are not flawless. We are going to make mistakes. There are going to be things that we are bad at. There are going to be lots of things that we just mess up all the time. And you know what? Being honest and open and transparent about that goes a long way. It goes a long way to the people that we work with. It goes a long way to the people that are listening about our company. You know, one of the things, especially when you raise a lot of money for a company, you're always in the process of fundraising more. It's kind of like being a politician. You know, once you win that first election, you're always just constantly fundraising, trying to get that next election, get the next win. And when you go down the path of raising money for your company, it's kind of the same thing. You signed up for a very weird thing. My dad came here 50 years ago from Iran, Persian Jewish guy. He started working for like $1.05 an hour, and built up a business and was able to put 4 kids through college and pay for weddings. And when I tried to explain the business that we were running to him, where we raised $4 million, he thought it was a loan. He's like, "What's going to happen when you don't pay them back? Are they going to come after the house?" I'm like, well, venture capital doesn't exactly work that way, Dad. They're asking for equity. It's not a loan. They're not going to ask for it back. But the way you run a business when you take a lot of money up front is very different than if you're just completely in control of your own fate. And you're constantly at the whim of trying to raise money from others. And what that often means is you're always trying to prop yourself up and talk about how good you are, what your successes are. And those are important. But I think it's just as important to be okay and understand what your flaws are. And I think what great entrepreneurs do is they don't try to fix their fatal flaws. They work around them. It's not our goal to get good at everything. Hire well around you. But understand the things you don't do well and be okay with that. Understand that we're going to have flaws just like superheroes do. Number 6, superheroes shouldn't seek the glory, but they're going to get it anyway. The goal of starting a company shouldn't be because you want to have more than somebody else, or you want to be known, or you want people to look at you in a certain light. That's not going to help your customers. It's not going to help your team. It's not at the end of the day not going to help you make more money. But the fact of the matter is, if you do your business and you do it well and you do it right, you're going to get the glory anyway. You don't have to try so hard for it. Superheroes help others. The mission of superheroes is to do everything that they can to help everybody else. They're selfless. They wake up every day and they put their spandex on, one leg at a time, and they think to themselves, what am I going to do today to help others? And that's what we need to do as entrepreneurs and in startups, is think about our customers. Because at the end of the day, our success and the amount of money that we make and the amount that our company is going to grow is directly connected to the amount of other people that we're able to help. And every time we sell a document or provide a service, we've helped somebody else. And our revenue and our growth is directly tied to how much we help others. And so if we start with this as our mantra, what are we going to do to help others today in a meaningful, lasting, important, vital way? Our businesses are going to benefit from that. Superheroes can do it by themselves, but they're a lot more powerful in teams. So how many of you here that are running this business, started this business, by yourself on maybe a little bit of money that you had, in your savings account or on your credit cards? Show of hands. That's a lot of us, right? And it kind of leaves you with an attitude that it's like me versus the world. And you have this belief and this confidence that you can do anything. And that the things that you do better than anybody else. That may all be true, but at the end of the day, superheroes are a lot more powerful in teams. Right? I'm actually a really big superhero buff, like the Justice League, which is Superman and Wonder Woman and Batman and Green Lantern. They're a lot more powerful together than they are separately. And so when you think to build your teams and your companies, what other superheroes do you want there with you in the trenches, taking on something really big? Superheroes' true strength comes from their character, not from their powers. So we may be great at what we do, we may be really successful, we may be making a lot of money, we may be top of the market share, but at the end of the day, our strength is going to come from our character. How do you treat the people in your office every single day? How do you treat your customers? How do you act towards the competition? What is your character? Because that's where your true strength is going to come from. And there's times in business that we're all tested, right? We just get something that happens that's going to test every fiber in your being, and somehow everything's going to go wrong all at the same time. Your family's going to be having issues. There's going to be something going wrong with your health. That thing that you thought couldn't go wrong in business is going to go wrong with every single other perfect storm. And it's going to seem like the universe has completely conspired to say, how much shit can you handle right now? How much Mr. or Mrs. Superhero Entrepreneur can I put on your shoulders and just see if you're going to buckle under the sheer weight of this pressure? And no metric, no amount of money, nothing's going to help get you through that besides your character. Your character is where your strength comes from, not from what you've done as a business or how other people see you. And finally, superheroes accomplish huge feats, right? Superman doesn't stop jaywalkers. He stops the meteorite that's coming to Earth to blow the whole thing up. Superheroes do amazing, huge things. And as entrepreneurs, that's what we should be thinking of doing. The same effort, effort's a unit of energy. And I've always thought this, which is the same raw effort it takes to start a lemonade stand or a college campus well is in essence the same raw effort it takes to build $1 billion business. Now you need other skills, right? Experience and wisdom and all these things help a lot, But at the end of the day, the effort, the amount of man/woman hours that you put in every day is the exact same. And often we set our sights on things too small. And I also think of it in this way, is that one of the characteristics I most often see in great business superhero leaders is they know the things that are the most important that they have to get right. And as entrepreneurs and as folks running companies, the fact of the matter is we can fuck up a lot of shit. You can probably mess up 90% of the stuff in your business if you get those one or two things that are the most important to get done right. So for when folks are starting businesses, what's always the most important thing that we all overlook? How easy it's going to be to get customers. We'll do all the other things, take care of this long task list, but there's the hardest, most important thing of can I get customers to use my product that we'll often overlook. And it's very easy to fill up our days with a long task list of stuff to do. I mean, do you ever go to bed at the end of the night thinking, I got everything I want to do done today? Or do you have a list of pages and pages and pages of things that you always feel like you could be doing and should be doing to get your business farther? Well, what do a lot of us do? We do those things that we know we can get done because completions make us feel like we're making momentum. But many of those things that we end up getting done aren't the things that are really the most important, because those are the things that are harder or take more time or thought or planning or are uncomfortable and hard to do. And so the question I would ask each of you to ask yourself when you sit down in your office and you're about to start your day, before you check your email, before you pick up your phone, before you deal with one of your employees' issues, before you just start doing, is simply ask yourself, what's the very most important thing that if I got done today, this week, this month, would have the absolute biggest difference in my business? And then think how much of your day you actually spend working on those items. So you're going to ask yourself, what is the most important thing that if I got done today, this week, this month, is going to move my business the farthest? And then think how much of your time you spend doing that. And that's related to doing big things. Because the same effort it's going to take to knock off all those little tasks is the same raw effort it's going to take to build a multi-million dollar business that services thousands or millions of people, provides great value. And at the end of the day, when you're looking back, right, I mean, one of the biggest things that I'm motivated by, and I'll share my why for a moment just before I finish up, is I never wanted to look back at the end of life and say to myself, I thought I could have done that if I just tried. I thought I could have done that really big thing that no one else did. Because don't we all feel sometimes like there's just this power inside of us? This like raw, burning power, like a superhero, that a lot of times other people can't see, where we feel like we can achieve huge, amazing feats. And then sometimes we actually do achieve these things, and it makes you think you can achieve something even bigger. So dream big, go big, and think of the biggest, most important thing you could possibly ever do with your business and your life, and start getting to do it, because that's what superheroes would do, and that's what we should do as entrepreneurs. So thanks for having me out.